Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Daniel, one half of the Kwak Brothers, and today we've got a very, very special treat. I've got one of my best friends here, Melvin Johnson. We're going to be talking about how he went from 0 to 2.5 million dollars in business line of credit in just 9 months. That means that if he got his wife pregnant today and started fresh, by the end of the time the baby is born, he'll have $2.5 million in line of credit. What would you rather have, man, the baby or the line of credit?
For sure, my baby.
The baby?
Sure. Yeah.
Really? I get the line of credit.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you don't have a baby yet.
No,
so
not yet.
why.
Right, exactly. That's exactly right?
That's your baby.
So let's go ahead and, that's my baby, exactly. So let's go ahead and cue that intro and let's get right into the meat. I have my very good friend here, one of my best friends actually, Mr. Melvin Johnson, founder and CEO, president, janitor, bookkeeper,
Keep it coming.
HR manager,
Keep it coming.
right? The Joker, right? All of the above, right? Of Maaj Capital, and he's got a phenomenal story. But he went from 0 to $2.5 million in 9 months with business line of credit, right? Now, business credit, it's a little different than personal credit.
It is.
So, Mello, before we even talk about that, tell us a little bit about you, because this is the first time that our Kwak Brothers viewers are getting to know who you are.
Okay. Well, as you mentioned, my name is Melvin Johnson. I am a new real estate investor, if you will, right? But I came to real estate via Daniel, right? I was flipping through Facebook one day, and he was like, I'm doing real estate. I was interested, and the rest is history. So we've been able to acquire thus far, within the last month or so, 6 doors and counting.
And you didn't have to raise too much money to get those 6 doors. Not a whole lot, actually, compared to a lot of people. So let's go ahead and start with the basics. A lot of people know personal credit, right? What's the biggest difference between personal credit and business credit?
Well, personal credit is, it's tied to your Social Security, and a lot of times it grows a little slower, right? It's nothing wrong with it, but it just grows different, and it's not meant to bear the weight of a business. It always says it's like putting a rock on a dried out spaghetti noodle. It's going to break it, Business credit, on the other hand, it grows faster. Your utilization really doesn't impact your score. And the only thing that's really important there is the payment history. Businesses are meant to utilize a lot of credit. So actual issuers of credit love to see you using your credit. Unlike on the personal side, when you're penalized for using a lot of credit. So if you spike over 40%, you're in that red area. No matter what anyone tells you, that's high. I like business credit. I love business credit. I love the introductory rates. I love, being able to internal bank it. We'll talk about that, here shortly. But
Right, and business credit is something that no one talks about. No one knows the real power of business credit. I would say it's right up there with learning how to raise capital. So now you went from 0 to $2.5 million in 9 months. What were some of the beginning stages? Like, what did you do right out of the gate when you first started that process?
I networked a lot, and I developed a relationship with 88 lending institutions that have various programs for people who are trying to look to obtain business credit. So a lot of that is personally guaranteed for startups, but you can get up to 5 times the amount that you have on the personal, and that was huge for a lot of people.
Yeah. So you find the person, and in order for you to do that, do you go to a bank? Who do you talk to?
Everyday people, people that I'm seeing at Walmart, people I'm going to meetups with. You actually just turned me on recently to Meetup. So I'm networking with those people. I'm networking with people at church. I'm networking with people at, the laundromat, just regular everyday people, individuals who are maybe not looking to get out of their jobs necessarily, but looking to create a passive stream of income so that they could have a peace of mind knowing that in the event that something happened to the job, they'd be okay, So these were regular people,
And obviously, you could use this $2.5 million credit to invest in real estate, to invest in a company, and a lot of times you have as much flexibility as regular cash.
I do, actually.
You really do, yeah.
I would say more. One of the things that turned me on to it was that I had a partner, a guy who was wanting to lend $150,000, and he wanted to lend it at 10%. Well, that was not a problem for me on this deal. But then I thought, okay, I could use 150 and do more with it if I was able to use his credit. And
so you and your friend went to the bank with $50,000, and you got a secure line of credit for $500,000. Am I hearing that correctly?
Wow. Not only $500,000, but $500,000 at less of a percentage that I was going to give him, which was 8.74%. So we got 8.74%. It's a year term. And also the $50,000 that we used to secure the $500,000 is actually not money that we used, right? We just needed to show. So we were able to show, and eventually we'll use it because we have to use 10% of our own capital to fund our deals, which is fine, you know. But yeah, so it was actually a rather simple process, you know.
Can you do this with $1 million? Could you do this with $500,000? More than just 50?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 50 is the base, right? 50 is the base and a minimum of 690 credit score. But, you know, you could do this with $1 million, $2 million. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about specifically, how did you get to that $2.5 million number?
Yeah, so $2.5 million come by way of three partners of mine.
Three partners.
Were very high net worth individuals. So with two separate partners, I have $1 million line of credit established to the LLC that I own 60% of, they own 40% of. They were able to retain their capital, which is always good. And then also one with a $500,000 line of credit. Now the beauty of it is that we take it a step further because like I said, an infinite amount of return. And what we did was we established credit cards under our actual LLC for fund up, and we were able to secure up to $100,000 per one of those LLCs that we have.
Yeah.
So with that, we initiate a lot of these rehabs on the project, and then we also use what's being reimbursed to us from our line of credit to pay off our credit cards. So we actually shift a lot of the funds back and forth, and after we initiate 10%, we spend no more of our money on these deals.
So let's go ahead and review and recap for a lot of our viewers here. So step one, you find the person. Right? The high net worth, good credit, and maybe something like $40,000, $50,000 in savings. Right? You go to the bank. You get a secure line of credit using that $50,000. Oh, you set up the entity, right? So you set up the LLC, which is a limited liable company. And you go to the bank with that LLC. You put the business line of credit. Use the $50,000. Use that cash to get the $500,000 in line of credit. Put that line of credit with the LLC. And you do deals with that money.
You do deals with that money.
Wow. Now, does a person have to keep the $50,000 in the bank, or can they retain it?
They retain their $50,000. So the 50 will be, that's indicative of the 10% that you'll use to fund your portion that the bank wants you with some skin in the game, of course. So yeah, that's your $50,000 that you'll retain. But yeah, they retain their 50 before the line is established. So it's not like they spend the $50,000 to have the line established. No, you actually only set up the line for $750. It's a one-time processing fee, and you also have an opportunity to every year have this line increase. So our goal next year will be to double this line via real estate, for sure.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Definitely a new way, and also a very good way of investing in real estate. So thanks, guys, for joining us. If you want more information, click on the link in the description below. For a lot of you students of the Kwak Brothers Education Company, Melvin is actually going to be one of our latest instructors. He's going to be teaching on business funding, business credit. So if you're interested, click on the link in the description below. And we will see you soon. Yeah, like and subscribe. Thank you.